And the 23rd, tell me again what you did then.
Well, no, Nicole and I talked. The 23rd.
Yes, May 23rd.
I think I had dinner with him. I think I went and had with Sydney and Justin and her.
Sydney and Justin were at the house.
On the 23rd, is that the Monday? Yes.
And you went there and had dinner.
Yeah, I believe so.
Which car did you drive over?
I don't know.
Where did you park?
I don't know.
How'd you get into the property?
I don't recall.
Did you blow the horn? Did you buzz? Did you?
I don't recall.
You have no idea?
No.
Okay. Do you know whether you went in through the garage or some other way?
The only other way would have been the front door, and I don't recall either.
When you went into the house, you had dinner there. Did you spend the night?
No.
You came back?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you bleeding on that occasion?
Not that I recall.
Okay. And you didn't have any cuts or anything like that, right?
Not that I recall.
You didn't have any Band-Aids or anything like that?
Not that I recall.
When you say not that you recall, is there any doubt in your mind?
I don't recall. If you go prior to the 23rd, I can't tell you any time in my life I ever bled, but I know I have.
You can't remember, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Now on the 22nd, what was that occasion when you visited the condo at Bundy?
Nicole had left my house feeling weak, and I had the kids. She told me she wanted to talk to me. So at some time later on that day, I went. That night, or that afternoon or whatever, went to her house. I think I brought her some food, too.
Which car did you drive?
I don't recall.
Where did you park?
I don't recall.
And how did you get into the property?
I don't recall.
Would have been through the front gate or the garage?
Yes.
And you spent, how long did you spend there with Nicole?
We're talking the 22nd.
Second.
I would say an hour or two.
Was anyone else home?
That's an estimate. Guess was no.
Just the two of you?
I think the kids were with me.
Wait. I didn't get the question. I would say an hour or two. That's a guess. That's an estimate. I did not hear.
Okay. Was anyone else home besides the two of you?
I believe the kids.
The same true on the 23rd, just you, Nicole, and the kids, right?
Yes.
And by the kids?
Well, I know the housekeeper might have been there that day on the 23rd. I'm not sure.
Her name is?
I don't know.
Were you bleeding on the 22nd there?
Not that I recall.
Did you have any cuts?
Not that I recall.
Now go to when was the last time before the 22nd you were there? You said before the week of the 16th, right?
Yeah.
We're in May, of course.
Yeah.
And you described an occasion when you went to get some cough medicine?
Yes.
And Nicole was sick?
Yes.
She was in bed?
Yes.
And when did you first go to her house? Well, what day was that during the week of the 16th of May?
I don't know. I was there almost when I was in town that week. I was there each day.
You went there a number of days?
That week, yes.
And how did you get there?
I'm sure I drove.
Which car?
I don't know.
Where did you park?
I don't know.
You have no recollection where you parked?
No.
Well, was it
Well, front or the back? Yeah.
Excuse me?
Front or the back of the house?
If you were going to be there an extended period of time, would you typically park in the back?
No.
And when you, so whenever you entered the house on those various days, you would have entered through the garage or the front gate, correct?
Yes, yes.
And when you went from the front gate, you'd go directly from the front gate to the front door, correct?
Yes.
The,
Unless the dogs were there and I was dicking around with the dogs.
do you remember doing so?
Oh, I've done it many times.
Did you do so that week?
I'm sure I did.
Were you bleeding at all at the property during the week of May 16th?
Not that I recall.
And did you have any cuts?
Not that I recall.
And when you entered through the front, you would park on Bundy, is that right?
Yes.
Now, during that week, did you make various trips and errands for Nicole to get her things?
During what week are we talking about?
Okay, during the week of May 16, when she was ill,
Yeah.
you identified one time when you were there, then left to bring her some cough medicine and came back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Were there any other occasions during that week when you were visiting Nicole where you were there, left, and then came back?
Possibly.
You have a specific recollection of any?
I know I bought the kids dinner at least one night that week and went to probably Rosti to get it. So I obviously left to go
Probably.
Rosti
Thank you.
to get it. So obviously I'm pretty sure that I did at least one time that week go to Rosti to get it and came back.
You were already at Nicole's place and then
Yeah,
left, came
yeah,
back?
Yeah.
And how did
I'm
you
pretty
get
sure.
into the property when you would return to the property to get back in?
I don't recall.
Did you have a key?
She may have given me a key one of those times. May have, but I don't recall.
You don't recall?
No.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know any other person other than Nicole who in May or in June of 1994 had keys to her apartment?
For first hand, no, but I think Cora did.
When you say firsthand no, what does that mean?
I never saw her hand the key to anyone else.
And what makes you believe that Cora may have had a key?
Because I believe when we were on a trip, I know she had a key to Cora's house. And when we were on a trip, a couple of trips we were on, I believe Cora had a key to her house. It just seems to me that she had mentioned that Cora had a key to her house for something.
You didn't see the key, right?
No,
Yeah, and you never got the key from Cora, right?
no,
And you've never seen Cora take possession or hold or use the key, right?
no. I've been in Nicole's house when Cora's come in. But actually, that was on Gretna Green. I've been in her house upstairs with Nicole in the shower. Nicole's in the shower, I'm in the shower, and Cora's come in the house, so I assume she had a key.
It's
Yeah.
just an assumption on your part.
Yes, yes, but I'm pretty sure I've heard her say that Cora had a key.
You're pretty sure you heard who said
Nicole state that Cora's had a key.
that. When did she tell you that?
I don't know. During the course of the year or so, we were together, back together.
And did you question why Cora had a key?
No,
Okay. And you don't know of anybody else who had a key to Nicole's Bundy condo, is that
no.
correct?
No,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay. And after Nicole's death, you never got a key to her condo, correct?
No,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
And you don't know of anybody else who received the key to the condo after Nicole's death, correct?
No, that's not correct.
What do you know in that regard?
I know AC got a key.
When did AC get a key?
I don't know. It was some things that they were trying to move, and he got a key from the Browns.
The Browns gave AC a key?
I believe so.
When did that occur?
I don't know. Sometime in June.
After Nicole's death?
Yes.
How do you know that?
I just remember they were talking about getting something, helping move is what I think it had to do, helping to move some things. And I believe, or maybe it was getting something might have something to do with getting some clothes for Nicole or getting something for the kids that week. But I'm pretty sure AC had access to the house.
Are you telling me that this is access withdrawn? You're saying that AC got a key to Nicole's condo?
Well, got access. I think a better word would be access.
What does
to
access
Nicole's
mean?
condo. The ability to get in.
How do you know this?
Because there was some conversation about it.
You were present?
I just heard it being spoken about.
You heard who speaking about it?
I believe it was AC and maybe Lou Brown.
When were you in the presence of AC and Lou Brown?
At the wake, I was in presence of Lou Brown, and at the funeral, in the presence of Lou Brown. I think on the phone a few times, speaking of Lou Brown. And AC, I believe, was in and out and around. He was running errands, bringing my kids to me, bringing the kids back to Laguna, doing various things.
Were you ever in a conversation with Lou Brown and AC Cowlings when the subject of access to Nicole's condo came up?
I believe, yes, I believe it was subject of getting something from Nicole's house, and I believe I was, yes, but I don't have a specific memory.
Where was that conversation?
I don't know.
And what exactly was said?
I told you I don't have a specific memory.
What was said at all about access?
I just recall AC was supposedly helping the Browns get something or move something from Nicole's house.
But you don't know that AC actually received a key to the condo, correct?
That's correct.
And you've never seen AC Cowlings possess a key to Nicole's condo, correct?
No, that's correct.
That's correct.
Yes.
So other than this conversation that you may have, or whatever you heard in this conversation, you're not aware of anybody else getting a key to Nicole's condo after her death, correct?
Access and keys, yeah, access. I think this Ron Hardy, I don't know firsthand. You're right, I don't know firsthand. Yes.
You don't know that anybody actually got a key to the condo, correct?
Correct, correct.
Including Cowlings, correct?
Correct.
Did you ever use a key to Nicole's condo to the back gate?
No.
Do you know whether you even needed a key?
No,
You don't know?
I don't know. I know it locks.
But you don't know whether you need a key to get in or out?
I've never looked at it and see if you need a key, and I never thought about it, no.
Okay. Okay. Can you estimate for me how many times you went to Nicole's property on the 16th of May when she was ill?
On the 16th?
The week of the 16th.
Because I thought we
Every
talked
day?
about. Yeah. Go ahead, you can answer that, Roger. If you have an
I
estimate.
think pretty sure on the 17th I did. I don't know if I went on the 16th at all. I may not even been in town on the 16th. I'm pretty sure on the 17th, 18th, and 19th I did, probably twice each day.
And on those occasions, Nicole was ill with pneumonia,
Yes.
and she was confined to bed?
Well, not really, but for the most part, yeah.
For the most part, she was in bed?
Well, whenever I saw her, she was in bed a few times, and she was out of bed a few times.
And where is her bedroom?
On the 3rd floor, depending on which side of the property you're entering from.
That's the top floor?
Yeah.
And the front door accesses which level of the property?
Second.
Second?
Mhm.
And the garage, when you come in through the garage, what floor do you enter into?
The bottom.
And then you take another set of stairs to the second floor?
Yes.
And that's where the living room and kitchen are, correct?
Yes.
And the bedroom is upstairs, correct? Nicole's bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to show you some photographs. Okay. Which I'm going to mark as exhibits 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay? Okay, we're gonna do that so I don't mess it up. This is 10. Right? Good deal.
10.
I'm writing the numbers on the back.
11. 11. 11. 12.
You gotta iron your clothes.
I think this is my clothes.
13.
Who knows?
Who's getting it, huh? 13. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. Wait, you go ahead of me.
That's the last one I gave you, the back.
18. 18.
Okay.
19. 20. 20. 20. And 21.
Okay, I've handed you exhibits 10 through 21, which depict various articles of clothing. And you've looked through exhibits 10 through 21, Mr. Simpson?
Yes.
Do you recognize that clothing?
Not necessarily, no.
Do you recognize any of it?
Not necessarily, no.
When you say not necessarily,
I mean, I recognize Calvin Klein underwear.
okay, let's,
But
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish your answer, Jim.
I recognize Calvin Klein underwear, and I recognize white socks. Yeah.
Exhibit 10 is a picture of a jacket. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Is that yours?
I don't know.
Do you know whose jacket that is?
No.
You have no idea if it's your jacket?
No.
Could it be?
If I
it
could
possible?
see the size, I'd like to see the
Wait.
size, but
Don't answer that. Could it be?
yeah.
That is irrelevant, has no probative value. It's immaterial whether it could be when he has no recollection. There's no foundation, and I instruct him not to answer the question.
If that standard were applied in the criminal trial, it would have lasted half the time.
I wish.
Look at the exhibit 11. That depicts a shirt. See that?
Yes.
Is that your shirt?
I really couldn't say.
It's Palm Beach Polo.
Does it?
Let me see.
I don't
No,
see
it doesn't. Next one does. Do you recognize that shirt?
Do I?
Yes.
I recognize it as a white shirt.
Is it your shirt?
I really couldn't say.
Do you know whose shirt that is?
I have no idea.
Like, take a look at exhibit 12. A shirt with the name Palm Beach Polo on it. Do you see that?
Yes.
You recognize that shirt?
I've seen a shirt like this, and I think I've owned a shirt like this.
You still have it?
I don't know.
You've seen it lately?
I haven't looked for it lately.
Have you seen it since you were released from jail?
Not that I know of. Possibly. I see all my shirts hanging in my closet. I don't look to see the decals on them, so I don't know. Maybe I have seen them.
So you have seen you do own a shirt like the one depicted in Exhibit 12,
I believe
correct?
so, yes.
Okay. Take a look at
Dan, which number was that?
12.
12.
Take a look at Exhibit 13, depicting some socks. Are those your socks?
I have no idea, no way of knowing.
Do you have socks like that?
White socks, yes.
Did you have socks like the ones depicted in Exhibit 13 in June of 1994?
I own white socks, yes.
Like those?
Well, I can't see the details on them, but they're white socks from what I can see.
And you did own white socks in June of 1994?
Yes.
Okay. Take a look at Exhibit 14. depicting a white and blue pair of underwear. Calvin Klein, I believe?
Yes. I can't tell if these are Calvin Klein's or not.
Okay. Are those your pairs of underwear?
I have no way of knowing.
Did you own underwear like that in June of 1994?
I own Calvin Klein's and jockey underwear, yes.
Did you own color blue and color white?
White for sure, blue I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay. You affiliated withdrawn. And take a look at the next photograph, Exhibit 15, depicting a shirt. 2 shirts, one that says what on it? It says, "Don't knock New York, Donna Karen, New York." You see that?
Yes,
Is that your shirt?
it could be.
You owned a shirt like that in June of 94?
I'm not sure, but I did work for Donna Karen. I mean, I had a lot of Donna Karen stuff.
They gave you free clothing?
Yes, sometimes, yes.
Okay. You mean before you were incarcerated, you worked for Donna Karen and received clothing from them?
No, I didn't work for them, but I had sort of I liked their clothes, yes.
And you received clothing from Donna Karen before you were incarcerated, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Next is Exhibit 16, which depicts 2 more shirts. Are those your shirts?
I have no way of knowing.
They look like shirts you owned in June of 1994?
I own T-shirts, yes.
Like those?
I don't know what these are like.
That look like those.
They look like white T-shirts.
Did you own such T-shirts in June of 1994?
I own white T-shirts, yes.
Okay. Not currently, did you in June of 1994? All my questions are directed to that time frame.
Yes.
Okay. Next is Exhibit 17, which depicts a polo shirt. Is that your shirt?
I have no way of knowing.
It's extra large. Is that your size?
Sometimes.
Did you wear extra large polo shirts in June of 1994?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What-
They said
what-
polo make, I don't recall.
Did you wear extra large shirts in June of 1994?
Sometimes, yes.
Did you own any polo shirts?
I don't know.
Is that your shirt?
I have no way of knowing.
Next is Exhibit 18, a pair of Calvin Klein underwear. Is that yours?
I have no way of knowing.
Did you own that in June of 94?
On what?
That pair of underwear?
I told you I have no way of knowing. Are these mine? How can I
Did you
know
wear
if I own
Calvin
them?
Klein underwear
I'm sure I did, yes.
in June of 1994
I'm sure I owned some pair then, yes.
by Calvin Klein?
I'm positive I did, yes.
Okay. Next is Exhibit 19, Nike shirt.
Mhm.
Is that your shirt?
I have no way of knowing.
Did you own a shirt like that in June of 1994?
I don't know.
Did you receive clothing from from Nike, as you did from Donna Karen prior to being incarcerated?
In my life, I'm sure I did.
Within a year of your incarceration?
I have no way of knowing.
Did Nike provide from time to time free clothing to you?
No. I doubt it, but they could have. They could have, yes.
Next is Exhibit 20, depicting 2 pairs of socks. Are those your socks?
I would have no way of knowing.
Okay. Did you own those socks in June of 1994?
I have no way of knowing if they're my socks. How can I say if I own them?
Next is Exhibit 21, pair of Calvin Klein white underwear. Is that yours?
I have no way of knowing.
And did you own that in June of 1994?
I have no way of knowing if they're mine, so I wouldn't know if I owned them.
Okay. Did you bring any of these items with you to Mr. Kardashian's house
I have
during
no
the
way
week of June 14th, 1994?
I have no way of knowing.
Okay. Did you bring these items, did you put all of these items into your black bag in June of 1994?
I have no way of knowing.
You don't remember?
I don't know if those are my items, so I can't recall if I put them in this black bag or not.
Did you bring these items into the Bronco with you when you went on the trip to Nicole?
I have no way of knowing.
Were they in the Bronco with you?
I have no way of knowing.
You don't remember?
No.
So if these items were recovered from your bag, you would have no way of saying that these are not your items, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And if they were obtained from the Bronco where you were lying down, you would have no way of knowing that they're not your items, correct?
That's kind of a double negative.
I don't get it.
In other words, if these items were found in or near your bag in the Bronco, you can't say that they're not your items, correct?
Wait a minute. If they were found in or near his
Yes.
bag in the Bronco,
Yes.
you can't say they're your items, and I'm going to instruct him not to answer
Why?
that question based on the pictures, because you can't tell from the pictures that whether they're his, whether they're AC's or somebody else.
Who's talking about ACs? He never mentioned ACs. Why did you mention AC, Mr. Baker?
My depot isn't being taken.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna,
That's my
and I'm not
point.
gonna- well, I don't care what your point is, and I'm
My
not going
point
to
is,
respond to your question.
stop trying to suggest answers.
Stop trying to say.
The witness can speak for himself. Just
Well,
make
thank
an
you very much.
objection and we'll move on.
Well, thank you very much for your speech, and I really have not taken legal advice from you, so
I
I'll
don't
put
want
anything
you to
on the
take
record
legal advice.
that I feel like I'm
Just-
going to. So,
You know better
just
than
not-
that, Mr. Baker.
Well, don't tell me what I know and what I don't know.
And
That's how
don't
like you told me
testify.
in court that you were telling me what the state of mind of my client was, and if you knew, you'd probably had some conversations with him in violation of the Code of Professional Conduct. So don't give me that
Are you
nonsense.
finished?
I'm not going to put up with it.
Okay. Are you finished?
No, I'm finished for now, but I'll put anything on the record I want.
Okay. You put those items in the Bronco?
I have no way of knowing.
You deny doing it?
Don't answer that. He's answered the question, and he's not going to answer that. That's argumentative. Don't answer.
You don't know what clothes you own, Mr. Simpson?
Don't answer that question.
Why not?
Because you're arguing.
I'm
with
not
my-
arguing, and-
No, you put photographs that are unidentifiable, and now you try to make a quantum leap, and I'm not going to let him answer
In
it.
June of 1994, you were familiar with the clothing that you owned, correct?
To the most part, yes.
And did you put any of the items that I showed you into the Bronco?
I don't know if those are any of my items.
Did you put them in the Bronco?
Well,
I didn't know if they were
he's
any of
answered
my
the question.
items.
Don't answer it.
Excuse
Okay?
me?
Don't answer the question.
Did you before you left the house, on the 17th, did you put anything into the bag?
Yes.
What did you put?
I believe I took a picture. One of the pictures was out, and I put it in the bag.
Did you put any clothing in there?
On that day, no.
Did anybody do that for you?
No.
I will represent to you that those items that I showed you were all items recovered from the Bronco. Do you have any way of disputing that?
Don't. He's asking, answer that, and we're not going to.
Do you know for a fact that that's not true, that they were not in the Bronco?
Don't answer that question.
He can answer that question.
I told him he couldn't. Don't
What's-
give my client
What's
legal
the
advice.
objection?
The advice is that's asked and answered, and it's argumentative, and I'm not going to let him answer it. You've
It's
been through
argumentative?
You've been through this 5 times.
No, I'm
and my
not getting
need
a
to-
clear answer.
Well, maybe that's your impression. I think you're getting very clear answers. He's not going to answer it.
Do you know for a fact that those items were
No.
not in the Bronco?
Don't answer that.
On what ground?
I am not going to. You have gone through that. I'm not going to allow
You're
you
not
to
even
go
going to
into.
state your objections?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to let the judge
I think you should.
take a look at these objections.
I think you should.
Identify every item that you know was in the black bag when you took it into the Bronco when you left Kardashian's house on the 17th.
I believe 3 pictures, a gun, whatever underwear and stuff I may have had in there when I left Rockingham earlier in the week.
By stuff, what do you mean?
Maybe socks, underwear, under apparel.
Any other articles of clothing?
Maybe, under apparel. I don't think anything else could fit in there with the gun and the 3 pictures.
Anything else?
Credit cards, keys, watches. And the only reason I know that is I saw some kind of property list. But other than that, I don't know.
What keys were in there?
I don't know.
You have no idea?
No, I'm sorry.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the examination conducted on the 17th of June by Doctors Huizenga, Lee, and Baden. Okay. You testified about that yesterday, okay.
Yes.
And they took some photographs.
I believe so.
And can you tell me what were they saying to you at that time?
I don't recall.
You don't have any recollection at all.
Not at all.
Do you know why they were examining you?
And exclude any conversations or that you had with your lawyers about that incident, not them being there.
Were lawyers there with them
I believe Shapiro
while they were
was there,
examining
and
you?
Bob Kardashian was there.
While they were examining you?
I believe so.
Can you remember what was said?
No.
And do you know why they were examining you?
Well, again, exclude any conversations that you had with your lawyers relative to the reason for their examination.
No, not really.
Okay. Paula Barbieri was there also, right?
I believe she was in the house, yes.
And Denise Halicki, right?
I believe they were in the house, yes.
Cowlings too, right?
I don't know.
Now, was that the first time you had been examined by any doctor that week?
No.
What other examinations occurred that week?
Dr. Huizenga examined me
Now, where did Huizenga examine you?
in his office
Where is his office?
in Beverly Hills.
Who else was present, if anyone?
I believe my lawyers were, I'm not sure of this, but I believe my lawyers, Kardashian and Shapiro were.
Kardashian, Shapiro, and Huizenga.
I believe.
Anybody else?
I don't recall.
Okay. And what happened at that examination?
I got examined.
They checked every part of your body?
I believe so.
And did they take photographs?
I don't recall.
Okay. Did they find any injuries? Any injury marks?
Well, do you
I
mean
don't
from
know.
his past?
No.
From his past operations?
Whatever.
Well, what do you mean whatever? Don't answer that question.
Any injury marks. Did they find any injury marks on your body?
I don't recall. Whatever they examined, they examined.
You don't recall?
I don't recall.
Let's go to the 17th for a second. Did the doctors then find any injury marks on your body?
I don't recall. Whatever was on my body, I guess they found.
What injury marks did you have on your body on the 17th of June?
If any.
If any.
You have to be a little more specific.
In what way?
What injuries? I mean, okay, they found that I have a bad left knee.
Marks.
And a knee surgery.
Marks
I
on
got
your
scars on my knee. Whatever I had, whatever was on my body, they found.
What do you know that was on your body on the 17th of June? What marks?
If you have, you talking about his scars? Because you went through this all yesterday.
Well, I want to know specifically what marks that you had on your body, injury marks,
Well,
bruises,
I don't even know what okay,
cuts,
bruises.
whatever, on the 17th
I don't know what an
of
injury
June.
mark is. He'll answer the question, bruises and cuts, if he has any recollection. In other words, if you,
I'm not trying to be difficult. I don't understand what you mean here. I truly don't.
Cuts, what bruises,
You
what,
mean like recent cuts, open cuts, old cuts?
including those, yes.
Whatever they looked at. I got so many scars and bruises and old cuts on my body. Whatever was on my body, I didn't go with, I was in space, I guess. Whatever was on my body, they found.
Did you have any open cuts on your body on the 17th of June?
I don't know about open, no.
Do you have any recent cuts on your body on the 17th
On
of
my
June?
finger, I had a recent cut.
Where on your finger?
On my left hand, I don't know what you would call this finger, my ring finger. No, actually my middle finger on my left hand.
Yeah, on the 17th of June, you had a recent cut on the middle finger of your left hand.
I would say 5-day recent, possibly.
And did you have any other cuts on your body other than the one on your finger that you just mentioned on the 17th of June?
I still, once again, I don't know.
You don't know?
No. I don't know how to answer that. I got cuts, as you can see, all over my body, and that's what I have. My body is I've been to a lot of games. And I can
Let's
see
talk
a lot
about,
of injuries.
Well, let him finish.
Okay. I want to know about cuts that you had on your body on the 17th of June when the doctors were examining you that had been caused within the previous 7 days.
So is there a question in there,
Yes.
regardless of what you want to know?
Yes, I
Where's
want to
the
know
question?
what those cuts were.
Then ask him a question.
I just did.
You didn't. You asked him
Describe
what you
them
want
to
to know.
me.
Describe any recent cuts that you've had that were 5 days duration or less.
The only one that I was aware of was...
I said 7 days.
The only one I was aware of is the middle finger one.
One cut on the middle finger
That was the only one I was aware of, yes.
on the 17th.
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware of no other cuts, correct?
I wasn't aware of any of
Were you aware of any abrasions on the 17th of June?
On the 17th of June. See, I have trouble differentiating what I was aware of on the 17th that I found out after the 17th. So on the 17th, I can't tell you what I was aware of.
What did you find out after the 17th?
That I had on this side of my finger, I had an abrasion. And
On the...
on the finger next to the ring finger, and then
No, you just...
Description of the finger.
And 1 second. You just pointed to the ring finger, correct?
yes, I believe so.
Ring finger being the one next to your pinky.
Mm-hmm.
And you had an abrasion on the 17th of June on that ring finger. Is that correct?
I don't know. As I said, I became, sitting at court looking at evidence, they talked about those things.
Your doctors did?
On the stand, yes.
Okay, doctors Huizenga and who?
I don't recall. I'm pretty sure Dr. Huizenga did.
Okay. And they identified an abrasion on your ring finger.
Yes.
On your
I
left
don't know,
hand.
but I may be not characterizing it right when I say an abrasion. Yeah.
Prior to the time they identified it in court, did you know that you had had that abrasion?
Do you have any recollection of having that abrasion?
Not really, no.
Okay. Did you tell the doctors on the 17th of any recent cuts or abrasions that you had received or injuries that you had received in the last 7 days prior to the examination?
I don't recall.
Okay. Now let's go back to the 15th, to Huizenga. Was that at his office?
Yes.
Where's his office?
In Beverly Hills somewhere.
Did he take pictures?
I don't recall.
Did anyone take pictures?
I don't recall.
What cuts within the previous 5 days did you have as of the 15th of June that you can now remember?
The one on my middle finger, I know that. And maybe the abrasion. I may have had it then, or by then.
Any others?
Not that I recall.
Do you remember telling the doctors about any cuts or bruises or abrasions you sustained within the prior 5 days on the 15th of June?
I think I talked about this middle finger cut, yes.
And did you talk about anything else?
Not that I recall.
Okay. The doctors on the 15th ask you how you got that?
I don't recall.
Did they ask you on the 17th how you got that?
I don't recall.
Shelley, for the record, I'd like to describe what the witness has pointed to twice. With respect to those cuts, he's referred to something as an abrasion on his left ring finger. And actually, what he's done, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Simpson, you were motioning in the medial aspect of that finger, inside
Yes.
the finger, back and forth. Is that a more specific description or location of that abrasion?
I believe so.
And then the other description, you have rubbed on the middle finger of your left hand where the knuckle area is to describe it. That description where that cut was located.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Where the joint is, he was describing the knuckle.
Yeah, that's what I don't remember.
Somebody ought to describe it.
Excuse me. We're off the record now? Is his audio picked up just now?
Wait, are you?
Go off the record. Let's go off the record.
This is the end of tape number 1 of volume 2.
Hey, can you get the file
Time
for
is
me,
approximately
please?
11:40. We are off the record.
Yeah, there's a mic.
When you were examined by Dr. Huizenga on the 15th of June, had any recent cuts or abrasions or wounds that you may have received been fully healed by the 15th of June?
I don't believe so. But I'm not sure. You'd have to ask the doctor.
What did you tell the doctor on the 15th as to how the cut on the middle finger was caused?
If you told him anything.
I don't recall if we talked about it, but we may have. We may have. I don't recall.
What did
that.
you say?
There's no foundation for that question if he doesn't recall.
You don't recall what you said?
No.
He doesn't recall even talking about it.
You don't recall even, I thought you said earlier that you discussed how that injury was caused.
I may have, but I don't. I may have, yes.
What did you say?
I don't know if I did.
And you can't recall, right?
I must have, but I don't recall. I don't recall any
Do
specific
you recall on the
conversation.
17th any discussion as to how you were cut?
Not at all.
And how did you suffer the cut on the middle finger?
I broke a glass when I was in Chicago, and in the process of cleaning it up, I evidently cut my finger.
I couldn't see that in front of me.
So in the process of not cleaning it up, but scooping it up, I evidently cut my finger.
Would you remember cutting your finger?
I remember bleeding.
Do you remember
And,
cutting your middle finger on
No, I remember bleeding and then seeing that I was bleeding, so.
Now,
What was that?
this was on the morning of June 13, 1994,
Yes,
at your hotel in Chicago?
yes.
Name of that hotel?
I don't remember.
And exactly how did you cut it with the glass?
I was trying to scoop the glass into the sink with some toilet paper and I believe a towel.
Now, you were at the sink of the hotel room,
Yes,
in the bathroom,
yes.
and what were you doing there at that time?
I don't know, I was going back and forth to the phone. I was trying to pack. I was trying to brush my teeth. I was in and out of the bathroom.
And at some point you did something to a glass,
Yes.
a drinking glass?
Yes.
Was it like the glass next to you, to your right,
Yeah, drinking glass.
about that tall?
I don't know.
And did it have anything in it?
I don't recall.
Yeah.
That's right. Can you show that glass on camera? Just so, because I referred to it for the record. Was the glass about that size?
I don't recall.
And the glass was sitting where?
On the counter in the bathroom.
Upright or upside down?
I believe I had my toothbrush sitting in it.
And was there anything else in the glass beside your toothbrush?
I don't recall.
Had you already used your toothbrush?
I don't recall.
When did you put the toothbrush in the glass?
Probably the night before.
When you got into the hotel?
Yeah.
And so you got to the hotel and you unpacked?
Yeah.
And you took out your toiletries
Yes,
and took your toothbrush out and put it in the glass?
I believe so.
And did you use that glass at any point before the time you hit it?
I don't recall.
You don't remember?
No.
And tell me exactly how you cut your hand on that glass with the toothbrush in it on the counter in the sink.
I don't believe that's correct, what you just said.
It was on the sink counter in the bathroom, right?
Yes.
And the toothbrush was in it, right?
Not when it broke, it wasn't.
Well, tell
And
me
I
what-
don't even know if the toothbrush was in it. I believe there were two glasses, and I just don't recall.
one with your toothbrush in it?
I'm pretty sure. Normally when I check into a hotel, I'll put my toothbrush in a glass, so I'm assuming that I did.
And the other glass had...
Just, you gotta wait till he finishes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Baker. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Are you finished?
Yes.
The other glass did not have a toothbrush in it?
I don't believe so. I only had one toothbrush. And if I put it in, I would have only used one glass.
Were both glasses about the same size as the one you just showed on the video?
I don't really recall.
Okay. And they were both standing or sitting on the countertop next to one another?
I don't recall.
Was there anything underneath the glasses, like a towel or a napkin?
I don't recall.
And describe what you did to break the glass and cut yourself.
I don't really know.
You said something about your palm or your hand. What did you say before?
I didn't say anything about breaking the glass at all. You didn't
How did
ask
you
me
cut
about
your
breaking the
finger?
glass. Cleaning up a broken glass.
How did the glass get broken?
I don't know. I was, I don't know. I was out of it. And I was doing a few things and the glass broke and I was going back and forth to the phone and maybe I slammed it down, maybe I knocked it over. I really don't know.
You're saying you do not know how the glass broke, is that right?
Yes.
And at some point you saw that there was a broken glass, correct?
No, at some point I was trying to get my toiletries together.
And you saw that there was broken glass around, correct?
Yes, yes.
And where was the broken glass, Mr. Simpson?
Mostly on the counter, and I think one big piece was on the floor.
And was
I
any
believe-
in the sink?
I don't know, probably some of it, maybe, I don't know.
And then you went to pick up the piece on the floor?
I was going back and forth to the telephone, and I was trying to pack, and I was trying to get it out of my way as I was packing.
And you saw the broken glass and you wanted to get it out of the way, correct?
Correct.
Were you on the phone at the time this was happening?
I was going back and forth to the phone, so I can't tell you exactly. I wasn't really, you know, trying to remember everything I was doing at that time.
I'm
so.
trying to focus on the point in time when you saw the glass, okay?
What do you mean when you saw the glass?
When you saw that there was broken glass on the...
At some point after I was told that my wife was dead, or that Nicole was dead, I broke the glass. In the process of going back and forth to the phone and trying to get packed, I cut myself trying to move the glass out of my way. Somewhere in that happened.
Now, how did you break the glass?
I don't know. I think I answered that already. I don't know.
You said that you do remember breaking the glass, right?
I remember the glass was broke, yes.
But you don't know how you broke it.
No.
But you're confident you broke it.
Yes.
And when you broke it, where was the glass?
In the bathroom.
Now, you went into the bathroom and then, while you can't remember how, broke the glass,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And why did you break the glass?
I had no purpose in breaking the glass.
Okay. Did you break one glass or two glasses?
I believe it was one.
Did you throw the glass?
I don't recall.
Did you squeeze it?
I doubt that, but I don't recall.
When you broke the glass, were you on the phone?
I don't recall.
Did you break the glass after you got off the phone?
I don't recall.
Did you break the glass during the conversation when the detective told you that Nicole had been killed?
No.
What phone was it that you were using?
The phone by the bed.
Was that the only phone in the room?
I don't know.
Was there a phone in the bathroom?
I don't know.
Did you use your cell phone in that room?
No.
Immediately after you broke the glass, you then began, what was your next movement?
I don't know. As I told you, I was going back and forth to the phone. Sometimes they had me on hold. Sometimes various people I was talking about was trying to find me a flight. And I was just going back and forth trying to pack. And I can't, in the midst of all of that, this glass broke, and in the midst of all of that, I was cleaning up the glass, and in the midst of all of that, all of this happened.
After the detective told you Nicole had been killed,
No.
did you make another phone call before you broke the glass?
I don't recall.
Do you believe you were on hold when you went to the bathroom and broke the glass?
I don't know.
Are you confident that you broke the glass while it was in the bathroom?
Yes.
And right after you broke the glass, did you pick up the pieces?
I don't recall.
You don't know when you picked up the pieces?
Sometime in the midst of all of that, trying to pack my toiletries, I did.
And what is the length of time that that process took?
Well, from the time they...
Well, what process are we talking about?
After he found out about Nicole's death, and then he was packing and rushing around, and
Making phone calls?
making
Yes.
phone calls? That whole process, how long did that take?
But from the time the police told me to the time I was actually at Chicago O'Hare Airport on the plane was about 60 minutes. So I must have been on 5, 6, 7 phone calls, packed, checked out of the hotel, got a ride to the airport, and got on a plane in 65 minutes. So, or in something roughly that long. So obviously a lot was going on.
How long were you in the hotel room after the call from the detective about your ex-wife's death?
I don't know.
More than 20 minutes?
I would think so, yes.
Half hour?
Possibly.
Longer?
I don't know.
When you picked up the glass, well, withdrawn, when you broke the glass, did it cause a cut at that time?
I don't believe so, no.
And do you know where the glass struck your body,
I don't know if it ever struck my body.
your hand?
No,
Do you know even if you used your left hand to break the glass?
No.
You don't know which hand you used?
no,
Did you throw it against the wall?
no.
Did you,
I don't recall.
Did you throw the glass in the sink?
I don't believe so.
Did you slam the glass down on the table? On the, I'm sorry, on the counter?
Possibly.
Picked it up and then slammed it down? Is that your best recollection of how you broke the glass?
No, I didn't say that. I said that was a possibility.
You say it's a possibility. Does that sound like what happened?
That's a possibility.
Are there any other possibilities that you know of?
There's obviously a myriad of possibilities.
Do any come to mind besides slamming the glass down on the counter?
I may have knocked it over. I may have hit it with my bag that I use to pack.
Do you
I
believe?
mean, my bag that I have my things in. I don't know. I know I was I don't know. I was sort of out of it at the time.
Did you break the glass accidentally?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
In other words, you were not intending to break the glass, correct?
I had no intentions of anything but getting out of there and getting home.
Well, were you attempting to break the glass?
No.
Okay. You cut yourself when you picked up the pieces of the glass, correct?
I picked up maybe a piece off the floor. I'm not sure, but I didn't pick up the other pieces. No.
You picked up a single piece from the floor?
I believe so.
A
Yes.
floor of what?
The bathroom.
Were you wearing shoes at the time?
I don't know.
How were you dressed when the officer called?
I was in bed.
How were you dressed?
Probably naked.
And did you put any clothes on before you broke the glass?
I don't recall.
Did you put any clothes on before you picked up the piece from the floor?
I don't recall.
Did you put on any clothing before you began to pack up the items in the bathroom?
Probably.
What clothes did you have on when you went into the bathroom to pick up the glass?
Pardon me?
What clothes did you have on when you went into the bathroom to pick up the glass from the floor?
I don't recall.
And what did you use, if anything, to pick up the glass?
I didn't pick up the glass.
The glass piece on the floor.
Probably my hand.
Did you have anything in your hand, like a towel or a napkin?
I don't recall.
Which hand did you use to pick up the broken piece of glass?
I don't remember.
When you picked it up, did you cut yourself?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so as of this point in time, your your middle finger on your left hand was not cut, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
When you picked up the piece of, well, there were no other cuts on your left hand at that time either, correct?
Correct.
And when you picked up the piece of glass,
Not that I know of, I should say.
okay. When you picked up the piece of glass, what did you do with it?
Put it in the sink.
And were there any other pieces in the sink at that time?
I don't know.
Did you cut yourself at all putting it into the sink?
No.
Okay. And did you then, what did you do after you put the piece of glass in the sink?
I don't recall.
Did you clean up any other pieces of glass?
Eventually, or at some point, yes.
Later on in the process of packing?
And talking on the phone and getting dressed, yes.
When you say in talking on the phone, you intermittently go back from bathroom to the bedroom, make phone calls and go back in the bathroom?
Yes.
How many items did you have in the bathroom?
Whatever my toiletries were.
They all come in a what, a little travel bag?
Yes.
And how many items had you taken out of that travel bag the night before?
Whatever was in it.
What was in it?
Shaving cream, toothpaste, toothbrush, mouthwash, probably my medication. I said a razor blade, I guess. Underarm deodorant, whatever was in it.
Anything else you remember?
Not that I recall right now.
What medication?
It was off of, oh no, Motrin.
Just
Motrin.
yeah.
Motrin. And vitamins. I always have my vitamins. Vitamin E, vitamin C sometimes, yeah.
You laid all those things out on the bathroom counter the night before, right?
Yeah,
Or
probably.
right before you went to bed, right?
Yeah.
And was there anything else that you unpacked and put in the bathroom?
Not that I recall.
Okay. And when you say you packed up the items in the bathroom, you're now referring to the, well, you are referring to the items that you had taken out of the travel bag, right?
That's correct.
You put them back in the travel bag, right?
Yeah.
Did you shave that morning?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Did you take a shower?
I may have, but
Half-
I don't believe so.
You don't believe you did?
I was trying to get out of there, so I really can't imagine taking a shower.
Did you wash your face?
I'm sure I did, yes.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
Did you use the underarm deodorant?
I don't know.
Did you use any cologne or aftershave?
I don't know.
Did you take any medication that morning?
I probably took my Motrin at some point. Maybe not then, but at some point.
Did you take it with water?
Probably I tried to take it with food. So I probably took it on the plane.
Did you eat anything in the hotel room?
No,
Did you drink anything?
other than water. And I may have not have drank water. I don't know. I really don't.
You remember drinking water?
No.
Now, at what point in this process did you cut your finger?
You, again,
Yes.
somewhere in between going back and forth to the phone, trying to pack, trying to get dressed. At some point in there, I cut my finger.
And on what piece of glass will strike that? Did you cut it on one of the broken pieces of glass?
Yeah.
On what piece?
Can we take a break?
Yeah, sure.
Jesus Christ.
When did we go off the record?
You're back on the record now, and the time is approximately 12:11.
We've had a 9-minute break. You requested a break, Mr. Simpson.
Yes.
You wanted to talk to your lawyers?
No.
You requested the break because you're uncomfortable with the subject matter?
You
No.
don't have to answer.
No.
why
I'm not
you requested
asking-
a break. You don't have to answer that.
I am not asking about the content of your discussions. I'm asking about your state of mind in the middle of
His state
the
of mind?
examination.
Your state of mind in the middle of the examination is relevant. I'm instructing not to answer it.
Did you talk to your lawyers during the break?
Yes.
Why were you unable to continue with the examination?
Don't answer that. That assumes that he's unable to continue with the examination. He's entitled to take a break.
Why did you request a break during the part of the examination?
Don't answer that either.
Excuse me?
I said, don't
Well,
answer that.
He whispered something, Mr. Baker.
No, I did
I
not.
didn't.
You
I didn't-
mouthed something.
I think I'm allowed to mouth something to myself.
What did you mouth?
You don't have to answer that either, Mr. Simpson. You're entitled to mouth things, and if you want to continue to try to badger the witness, I've heard that on Perry Mason, and it's not a good thing.
Do you want to tell us what you were mouthing?
No, and don't tell him that either. That's not relevant to any issue in this case.
Did you brush your teeth before or after you cut the glass?
Well, that's been asked and answered.
Cut the glass?
Excuse me, withdrawn.